You already know the feeling. You've seen the footage, the object that turns 90 degrees at 12,000 miles per hour without slowing down, without a sonic boom, without a visible engine, without anything that should let it survive that turn. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a question has been sitting there for years, one you've never actually said out loud. If nothing we build could survive that maneuver, what is powering something that can? Not fuel, not a battery, not anything with a limit. Something that behaves like it never runs out. Stay with me for the next 20 minutes, because by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why the world's top physicists keep using the same two words to describe this, not possible, and why a small, quiet number of them have started whispering a different phrase instead, not impossible, just not ours yet. Picture the ocean, at night, in November 2004. A U.S. Navy fighter pilot is flying a routine training mission off the coast of San Diego. Radar locked, everything normal, the kind of shift that ends the same way it starts. Then the radar operator on a nearby ship picks up something impossible. An object at 80,000 feet, dropping to sea level in less than a second. Not falling. Descending, under control, at a speed that should have turned a human pilot into paste against the inside of a cockpit if anyone had been sitting inside it. The pilot goes to look. What he finds is a smooth, white, oblong shape, roughly 40 feet long, hovering above churning white water like it's simply choosing to be still. No wings, no exhaust, no visible means of staying in the air at all. And then, the moment his jet gets close, it reacts, not by fleeing in a straight line, the way anything with a normal engine would, but by snapping sideways, instantly, like it had no mass to overcome, no inertia to fight, no fuel being burned to make that turn happen. That single moment is where this story actually starts, because that's the first time modern instruments captured, on video, radar, and infrared simultaneously, an object doing something our physics says nothing should be able to do without consuming an amount of energy we don't know how to produce, store, or explain. Here's where it stops being one strange night and starts being a pattern you can't unsee once you know it's there. Between 2004 and 2021, U.S. military pilots reported hundreds of these encounters, not blurry lights on the horizon, but tracked, sensor-locked objects performing maneuvers that violate basic aerodynamics. Instant stops from hypersonic speed. 90-degree turns with no arc, no gradual curve, the kind of turn that should generate G-forces capable of liquefying a human body if a pilot were inside. No compressed air displacement. No sonic boom. No heat signature consistent with any known propulsion method. And this is the part that should stop you cold. Every single method humans have ever built to move anything, from a bicycle to a rocket, works by pushing mass in one direction to move in the other. Newton's third law. Every action, an equal and opposite reaction. It has never failed. It has never had a single documented exception in the entire history of physics until these objects showed up on radar doing exactly that over and over in front of trained pilots who had every reason not to report it and reported it anyway because they knew what they'd seen, and they knew nobody would believe the alternative. So the question isn't, are these real objects? The Pentagon itself has confirmed publicly on the record that the sensor data is real. The question is the one nobody in a military briefing room wants to answer out loud. If it isn't pushing against anything, what, exactly, is it pushing against? This is where physicists split into two camps, and where the story stops being about pilots and starts being about you, because once you understand what these two camps are actually arguing about, you can't watch another one of these videos the same way again. Camp 1 says, measurement error, sensor glitch, human misperception under stress, case closed, move on. And for some of the older footage, that explanation genuinely holds up, cameras lie, radar glitches, tired brains fill in gaps. But Camp 2 says something quieter and far more unsettling, because it doesn't dismiss the data, it tries to explain it. And the explanation they keep circling back to has a name: zero-point energy. Every cubic inch of empty space in the universe, according to quantum field theory, a theory we've tested and confirmed thousands of times in laboratories, not science fiction, is not actually empty. It's boiling, constantly, with particles flickering in and out of existence. A churning ocean of energy sitting underneath everything, everywhere, all the time, in quantities so large that even a rough calculation puts more usable energy in a single cup of empty space than every nuclear reactor on Earth could produce in a year. We know this energy exists. We've measured its effects directly in a phenomenon called the Casimir effect, where two metal plates placed close enough together in a vacuum get pushed toward each other by nothing, by the pressure difference of quantum fluctuations on either side. That's not speculation. That's a measured, repeatable, laboratory-confirmed effect. What's speculation? And I want to be honest with you here, because that's the whole point of doing this properly instead of selling you a fantasy, is whether anything, anywhere, human or otherwise, has figured out how to tap into that ocean and turn it into usable propulsion. No confirmed technology does this. Not one. But here's the part that keeps certain physicists up at night. If something did figure out how to draw even a tiny fraction of that background energy, it wouldn't need fuel. It wouldn't need to carry mass to throw backward. It could turn, stop, and accelerate as if inertia simply didn't apply to it, because it would be interacting with the fabric of space itself instead of pushing against air, exhaust, or anything we'd recognize as reaction mass. That is, uncomfortably, an exact description of what pilots have been reporting for 20 years. Not proof, a match. And the difference between those two words is the entire reason this remains unresolved instead of settled, because a match this precise, appearing consistently across multiple pilots, multiple sensor types, multiple decades, stops being easy to wave away as coincidence and starts becoming something you have to sit with. So here's where this leaves you, and I'm not going to pretend it leaves you anywhere comfortable. In 2022, the Pentagon quietly created an office specifically to investigate these cases, not to debunk them, not to dismiss them, but to study them using real scientific method, with real funding, staffed by real physicists who left tenured positions to work on this full-time. That office has stated on the public record that a subset of these cases remain fully unexplained after exhaustive analysis, not probably a drone, not likely a balloon. Unexplained, with the sensor data intact and the physics still not adding up. That's not a conspiracy claim. That's a government office telling you, in its own official language, that it doesn't know. And that admission is the actual payoff of this entire story, because it isn't a clean answer, it's an honest one. We don't know if these objects are drawing power from the quantum vacuum. We don't know if infinite energy is even the right phrase, or if it's simply energy access so far beyond our current engineering that it might as well look infinite to us, the same way a smartphone would look like unlimited magic to someone from 300 years ago. What we do know is this. The laws of physics that say this shouldn't be possible are the same laws that let us put satellites in orbit, split atoms, and photograph black holes. They are not laws we take lightly, and they are not laws that break easily. Something is breaking them, or working around them, or exploiting a gap in them we haven't found yet ourselves. And the not knowing which one it is, that's the part that should actually stay with you after this video ends, longer than any answer would have. Because if it's a measurement error, that's forgettable. But if even one of those hundreds of documented cases really is interacting with the energy sitting inside empty space itself, then somewhere, someone or something has already solved the single biggest engineering problem in human history, and we are still sitting here, watching it happen on grainy infrared footage, taking notes and waiting. If this pulled you in the way it pulled me in while researching it, hit subscribe, because this channel goes deeper into exactly this kind of unresolved, evidence-based mystery every week, and drop a comment right now with the one theory you think actually explains what pilots have been recording for 20 years. I read every single one, and some of the best leads for future videos have come directly from this comment section. I'll see you in the next one.